Okay, occult significance of the 2020s. So, the infamous files then. I have thought a lot about how to treat this topic in this video. Watching the internet go absolutely wild with the claim that they have found actual proof that the secret rulers of the world have released all the secret intel on themselves, and that it all proves that they are blood-drinking, cannibalistic Satan worshippers.
Your God is Satan. You guys are Baal worshippers. You will continue to kill and sacrifice children.
But I'll get into all the devil worship and new human trafficking stuff and all the draining the children of the blood, the jerky, the cannibalism, because they do it all. They're draining blood, but they're eating them live.
Oh, well, there's no denying it now. My position on it is completely shifted. I thought there's probably some really sick people that have an appetite for that, but I hadn't seen any real evidence for it until these files. And now they're like, oh, this is demonic. This is clearly demonic.
They are satanic right and left at the top.
All busy ritualistically sacrificing the innocent. And I suppose there is enough material to piece all of that, however tenuously, together to form this sort of picture. And it seems as though the answer to all this is to run to the open arms of the great creator in the big book.
There's God, and then there's your plan. There's Satan's plan.
Christianity, at least, is the only thing I have experience with. It works.
Are the Epstein files and the revelations of the Epstein files showing us that we need to return to Christ, that our models of nation are broken?
Now, I'm not suggesting that the individuals associated with these files are not depraved, deranged, or psychotic monsters, for want of a better term. But it just seems more than a little convenient to me that we are being led to believe that the evil, ungodly elitists are supposedly meant to be worshipping the same Ugaritic storm deity Baal, that the great creator of the big book is seen to have actually eventually displaced in religious history. The great creator of the big book is generally seen as being almost like the good version of Baal, a sort of updated version that actually displaces Baal and eventually is seen to demand that there must be an end to the sacrificing of the innocent. Very coincidental that hugely prominent influences are not only telling us to turn towards this merciful great creator, they're also giving us that slice of history in the mix.
The Old Testament's all about that group saying, yeah, we've sacrificed our kids. Everybody else is doing it. God tells us stop doing it. You got Abraham told to kill his son as a test, and then the angel grabs his arm. It says, kill the ram that had just come right out in the brush, and not your son. God just wanted to see if you do what you were told, but this practice of human sacrifice ends. And then Christ came and said, it's completely over. I am the last sacrifice. We know it comes out of Abraham. It's right there. It's all being fulfilled. We're all going to die if we don't become Christians.
And this idea of Baal being satanic is interesting. I asked AI about the iconography and evolution of Baal, from Ugaritic storm god to being seen as virtually Satan himself. And it told me that the original Baal was just a Canaanite storm and fertility god, and not originally an evil god. Oh, but it's AI, it would tell me that, wouldn't it? But with the emergence of the origin faith, Baal becomes seen as a false god with the emergence of the great creator of the big book. Baal worship becomes shorthand for idolatry thereafter, and not worshipping the great creator in this book becomes a kind of blasphemy. And from there, the idea of worshipping any other god than the one in this book is seen as worshipping a demon, the devil himself. Because there is only one true book that tells the true story of the great creator of absolutely everything, right? And in the end, even if it is actually true that these deranged so-called elitists are actually conducting their depravity in the name of their demonic figure of worship, it doesn't mean that it really exists. And I find it really difficult to wrap my head around the possibility that these crazed individuals would have such faith in a deity that is clearly losing the war of the gods. Their figure of worship is nothing but a footnote in the historical legacy of the Big Book's great creator. And it's not like these psychopaths aren't aware of the Big Book. I mean, it's not like they haven't read the Big Book. You can actually find Bible verses in the infamous files. Let's have a look here. Let's try an actual book title. Leviticus. Search. There it is. Ezekiel, Isaiah, Exodus. Looks like these so-called Satanists are not averse to reading the Big Book after all. What they should do, really, is tell their figure of worship to read it, wouldn't you say? So we can find out how it ends.
Because if we know, how could you not know?
But what this Baal-worshipping elite's idea certainly gives power to is this paradigm. And so many people are now running to the open arms of the Big Book's great creator. So many people, particularly the believers in the Big Book, will tell you that so many things we have taken to be true for so long are all just a big psyop. It's all fake. This is fake. That is fake. Everything is fake. Everything apart from the Big Book. That's real. That's true, they will say. They question the authenticity of everything we have been told about the world, apart from a book. Why isn't that also a psyop? Why, therefore, wouldn't you believe that this is all a psyop? Does nobody else find it odd that just as the doomsday clock is closer to midnight than ever before, just as a president is hailed as a messiah and the devil himself, just as ancient prophecies are supposedly coming true, talk of the third temple and sacrifices being made to rebuild it, biblical levels of destruction in the Middle East, a signing of a covenant as foretold that chimes in with prophecy, and now talk of the secret rulers of the world worshipping the demonic figures that are replaced by the Big Book's great creator. Does nobody else ever pause to think that this is all just a big psyop? Are you sure that this great creator is the true one? Are you willing to bow in worship to it on the strength of a book written 2,000 years ago? Are the elitists smart enough to pull all sorts of tricks and get away with them? Convince the entire disc that it's really a globe? Smart enough to do all that, but then also be just dumb enough to worship the big bad guy in the Big Book? Oh, that's the power of Satan, right? He's a deceiver. But if they believe, as you may do, in the figure of Satan, he actually loses in the end, just as his alleged followers are now losing, revealed in the infamous files, for being on the bad side with that bad guy. So believers, rejoice. The West, the New Rome, Edom, is falling. It seems as though somewhere his people are revealing the truth. The great creator of the Big Book is winning. Are the satanic elites of the West, the New Rome, Edom, Babylon, being judged? Is the great creator enforcing his plan?
You see, you either go with God's plan because it's perfect, and God gave us and rose up Donald Trump. Trump is a godsend, an imperfect messenger of God, but nevertheless, a King David of our time. There's no debate Trump was saved by God in Butler.
I was saved by God to make America great again.
We want to bring God back into our beautiful USA like never before. We want God back.
We're going to rededicate America as one nation under God.
The evil, satanic NWO will fail, for his new world must be fulfilled.
A day to give our deepest thanks to the Almighty God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. God, I want to just say, we love you, God.